never lost. Went to the finals, never lost.
You never got there, LeVar.
Who?
You.
I've been a one-on-one champ. Never lost one-on-one.
All right.
Back at it again, it's the guy Spencer. You know what time it is. It's time for East Texas' most intriguing games of the week. We've only got 4 games this week, but we've got a huge week to recap of the regional final where we had 5 games that included East Texas teams. And I say East Texas. Everybody's got to know my parameters here. I'm going from Canton to Wascom, from Texarkana to Lufkin. So anything outside of Canton, I'm not really considering in my East Texas deal. So that's why I don't cover Malakoff. So just in case you guys were wondering what was going on there, that's just my deal. Anyway, the game of the week, the team of the week. The game of the week was Chapel Hill and Kilgore, but the team of this week is the Gilmer Buckeyes, pulling off the upset of all upsets, upending Carthage 47-44 in overtime, and that takes the Buckeyes into the 5th round to face Glen Rose this Friday in Prosper. But man, what an incredible game from the Gilmer Buckeyes offensively. They've been on all year long, and defensively they've given up points, but the biggest surprise to me this game was Carthage. Carthage's defense could not get the stops that I thought that they would get. Gilmer has been playing incredible, and in this playoff run, Jaden Sanders has played outside of his mind. He's had an incredible run, and he did it again, and we'll talk about what he did in his numbers wise a little bit later when we get into the top 10 players of the week. But just an insane performance from the Gilmer Buckeye offense, continually to score. Even scored when they weren't supposed to, but hey, it didn't matter. It worked out in their favor, and they take on Glen Rose tomorrow night and Friday. Let's talk about the top 10 players of the week. Only 9 this week. At number 9, we're going with your boy and Cook, J-Bo Cook from Chapel Hill. He had 12 carries, 104 yards, and 1 touchdown in the 21-19 win over Kilgore. J-Bo's a great player. He plays both safety and running back from Chapel Hill. I was there for the game on the call. He ran electrically, had the first touchdown of the game, a big 28-yard touchdown run, and he's an incredible football player and part of the reason why Chapel Hill is playing this week. At number 8, Ashton Williams of Dangerfield. Don't know his total numbers, but he had a 30-yard touchdown run, and he also had an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, giving Dangerfield the 42-21 win over the previously unbeaten Newton Eagles. So a really big game from Ashton Williams. Of course, Chase Johnson runs everything out there for that offense, but two big plays from Ashton gets him here at number 8. And number 7, Demetrius Brisbane of Chapel Hill. He had a terrible day throwing the ball. He was 1 for 5 and he threw a pick. But running the football, 14 carries, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown in the big 21-19 win over Kilgore. The dude's a cheat code. When he scrambles out, it's just he gets away with things that he shouldn't be getting away with. They'll go quads on your left, have one guy in the backfield, and he'll break out the right and go 50 yards down the sideline like he does on that first highlight. He breaks some rules and he gets away with it sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't, but his athleticism is extreme, and he's a big reason why Chapel Hill is into the 5th round for the 3rd time in a row. At number 6, Brendan Webb of Gilmer, 7 catches, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown. And this first touchdown is just absolutely huge. What a great play he makes up, going on top of everybody, bringing the ball in. Tie goes to the runner as he catches it, and they give him the credit for the touchdown. Incredible performance and an incredible play there from Brendan Webb. At number 5 is Ricky Stewart of Chapel Hill, 29 carries, 179 yards, 1 touchdown in the big 21-19 win over Kilgore. Same story. They ran the ball and they ran it effectively. They didn't see the purpose of throwing it. And I think maybe Kilgore probably threw it a little bit too much for the lack of success that they were having. But nonetheless, Chapel Hill was piling it up on Kilgore, and they did it with Ricky Stewart, touching it 29 times, 179 yards. And when you have that, usually if Ricky's getting 29 carries, it's usually for a 250, 300 type day. Tough physical performance from both Kilgore and Chapel Hill. They limited him to 179 off of 29 touches, which is a job for a back as talented as Ricky Stewart. At number 4, Will Henderson 18 carries, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 5 catches for 67 yards and 1 touchdown, including a huge touchdown to put them ahead in the game deep in the fourth quarter. A great play. And what I give Gilmer a lot of credit for is that they haven't seen him in empty a whole lot all year. Most of their highlights come with Will Henderson standing next to Edmond or Tennyson in the backfield. And this time they were not afraid to go empty against Carthage. They were not afraid to try things that they hadn't done. Will Henderson really hadn't been used as a receiver all year. They weren't afraid to use him. They used him out wide a couple of times, and he made 5 catches for him, one being one of the biggest of the game. At number 3, Caden Tennyson, Gilmer, 18 of 26 for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also had 15 carries for 72 yards and 1 touchdown as well in the 47-44 overtime win over Carthage. This dude has been balling out in every single playoff game this year. Each week he's just taking it up another notch. You saw a couple of weeks ago a 75-yard touchdown run. This week you see him on the ground again, a 25-yard touchdown run, which was probably ill-advised. He probably shouldn't have scored that. But does he land at number 3 on this list without it? I don't know. I'm just kidding. He probably shouldn't have scored it. Should have took a knee and took the clock out. Carthage obviously gave it up to him. But nonetheless, this guy has been playing incredible. He put the football in places that only he could put it at, for only his guys could make plays on it. He made an incredible flag route throw to Jeremiah Noble and landed right in the bucket over him and the safety's shoulder. It was an incredible throw. He's a really good football player, playing some really good football right now, and it's the perfect time of the year to be doing that. And number 2, we've got Chase Johnson of Dangerfield. He had 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns en route to the 42-21 win over the previously unbeaten Newton Eagles. And that's why and I didn't expect Dangerfield to win this game. I thought Newton played physically, and that usually gives Dangerfield the blues when they can't get off the field because they're not stopping the run. They did that this week. They stopped the run, they got off the field, and they stayed explosive on offense. You know, that's the formula to beat Dangerfield, is to try to take possessions away and speed the game up. Newton couldn't pull that off, and Dangerfield was as explosive as ever. Chase Johnson throwing a deep one to Aaron Hampton, 76-yard touchdown right off the bat. Then he comes back and hits Kenny Mosley with an incredible screen. Kenny Mosley does an incredible job of running it the rest of the way. And it's not just the touchdown passes. This guy demands the ball. I mean, he runs the football physically, and he also moves the ball down the field with 12, 13, 14-yard gains that he throws it down the field as well. So a very, very good game from Chase Johnson coming in at number 2. And the number 1 player is Terry Bussey. 5 total touchdowns, 1 defensive interception, and the 35-23 win over Garrison. He scored every touchdown for his team, as you would expect the previous number 1 player in East Texas to do, and he does it again. He's a cheat code, man. He does what he wants to. He's extremely athletic. He's going to score on a power read, and then he makes an incredible interception. That's just, you can't throw it up around this guy. There's one receiver on the field. They thought they may have got him looking at other things. Nope. He reads his keys, drops back, makes a great play that only he could probably on this field go make. And that's the reason why he stands out the way that he does. This dude is a ball player, and he's man amongst boys on this level, and he just does it to any and everybody. You know, to the 5th round again for the second time for Temps, and as the number 1 player is Terry Bussey. Let's get a look at these top 10 plays of the week. We're starting here, Carthage and Gilmer. We're starting with Jesseret. Jesseret takes the snap, throws it up to Braden Manning, who goes up and catches it at the top level, and then just outruns the defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Carthage. And number 9, we've got J-Bo Cook right here. This 35-yard touchdown run. Great blocks on the outside, great blocks on the edge, and finishes the job and scores a touchdown. And number 8 is Terry Bussey. This time, around the edge, makes a great cut, and then whoop, oh my goodness, you never had a chance. Made both those defenders look silly en route to a touchdown. And number 7 is Bussey again. This time, he's taking the snap, and it's the power read right up the center of the entire defense and right down their hearts and into the end zone there for Bussey. And number 6, this one, Kenny Mosley on the 60-yard screen. Does a great job of following his blocks. Lama doing an incredible job of blocking down the field, and Mosley's got enough speed to finish the job. And number 5, we've got, this is the perfect throw by perfect throw by Caden Tenson, throwing it up to Will Henderson in the end zone. Great job. Number 4, it's a 76-yard bomb there from Chase Johnson on the way to Aaron Hampton from 76 to start the game off right. And number 3, this is Terry Bussey playing safety, seizes a pass, goes up. My goodness, top floor. I got that.
The yard line
interception,
in their own
first down
territory.
Tempson at number 2.
Williams back, looking for a receiver, has
protection.
one. And
Oh, what a catch!
Jaden
What a catch!
Sanders.
15, 10,
Jaden
5,
Sanders.
still going!
Still going. Touchdown!
Oh, my
Wow!
goodness. Jaden Sanders.
Oh, man!
What a play.
Unreal!
What a play.
Touchdown! Wow!
That's insane.
Look
That's
at this
just
crowd!
individual talent, man.
And they didn't need all the time.
Deep ball, play action, had all day. Find Sanders. Sanders does a good job catching the ball in traffic. I've seen him make that catch about 12 times this year. Drags the Chapel Hill defender all the way into the end zone. That's poor tackling, and that's a. And the number 1 play comes from the Gilmer Carthage game. Tennyson takes a snap. He's going to fake it to Will Henderson, throw this thing up to Brendan Tate. And what a play, what a catch, what a grab on everybody in the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. So let's get into it. What are East Texas's most intriguing games of the week? Just got 4. At number 4, we've got Tempson versus Ganado. And I don't know a thing about Ganado. I'm not even going to try to act like I've done any research about him. This is the 5th time. I'm sorry. This is the 2nd time in a row that these guys have been in the 5th round. Incredible game they played last year, and this is a big one, man. Big one for Tempson. I don't know anything about Granado, but I know this is huge. They're playing towards the Houston area this week, and so big game. It's Terry Bussey. Can he finish the job like he did last year? Now, last year they played a team called like Frankfurt or something like that, where they had an incredible receiver who ran like 10-3, and he was the reason why. I think Ganado has 2 losses on the year, and I just don't see a team that's lost twice already that's going to be able to compete with how Tempson can compete. Now, I know Terry Bussey scored every touchdown last week, but they also have a guy by the name of J.J. Garner and Avosky Howard that can do it as well. So Tempson is loaded for this 2A level, and I do not think that a team with 2 losses is going to knock Tempson out. I think these guys make it to state, and I can't wait to watch it. At number 3, Dangerfield versus Tidehaven, another game in the Houston area, and this one's a little interesting. Tidehaven is an undefeated team sitting at 14-0 as they get ready to take on the Dangerfield Tigers, who have lost a couple of times this year to Tempson, and they also lost to Harmony. Not sure about what I know. Dangerfield has the best athletes on the field. They've got a 4-star receiver in Bubba Hampton. They've got a great receiver in Kenny Mosley, Amari and Simon Jones. The backs, Braden Lewis. The backs, Ashton Williams. And, of course, the ringleader, the quarterback, Chase Johnson. This is the best skill group probably in the entire 3A conference, especially Division II. They got to come out and play like ball players. They have to, in order to, ascend themselves into immortality, they've got to do exactly what those guys did probably 12, 13 years ago, and Steve Evans and Boyd, the quarterback, and, of course, Kieris Garrett, the wide receiver. When they had D1 dudes, they played like D1 dudes at the right time of the year. And so these guys are going to have to do just that in order to beat Tidehaven, who was undefeated on the year. And I believe that they can, and I believe that they will. I think this is the year that Dangerfield gets over the hump, and I believe this is the year Nelson gets his first state title. And number 2, Glen Rose versus Gilmer. Now, this is all going to come down to the Gilmer offense. It's been on Gilmer's offense all year long. They're going to have to score, and that's the way they prefer it. Not that they don't want to get a couple of defensive stops, and not that Aaron Bell isn't a great defensive player, and they don't have great defensive players over there on that side of the ball. But this DNA of this team has been offense. Now, Glen Rose is a tough competitive team. They took Carthage deep into the game last year in the 5th round. But Gilmer's offense is as good as advertised and as good as anybody in that region of football, especially in 4A. I think Gilmer can, and I think they'll have to rely on Will Henderson, and hopefully Caden Tennyson continues to play outside of his mind and lead the Gilmer Buckeyes to a state championship game next week. And at number 1, Chapel Hill versus San Antonio Davenport. Now, this is the 3rd time that Ricky Stewart and of course, Ricky Stewart, Demetrius Bresbaugh, and then even the offensive tackle Dylan Drummond. This is their third, fifth round game. These guys, 2 juniors, 1 senior, have led the offense, and I really want to pay a little bit of attention to Dylan Drummond. They did an incredible job, and I haven't watched these guys live. You know what I do, but I finally watched them live against Kilgore last week as I called the game, and they will take Dylan Drummond and move him wherever they need to move him in order to create a push for those guys to run through. I saw it like 3 or 4 times that Friday night where they would take him and put him at guard just to create a wedge and then movement in on the inside. They want to run behind the big house. They'll get in quads. They'll get you in these weird formations to make you spread the field out. And then you got to tackle these 3 incredible backs one-on-one. If they throw over 6 passes, it does not bode well for Chapel Hill. They need to run the ball. They need to be aggressive. They need to give it to their best players. And then maybe, if anything, employ some more screen game. Do some more screen-type things, and that will lead the way for Chapel Hill if they want to just throw the ball. But I do believe in Chapel Hill. I do believe in this group. I think this coaching staff has been here too many times already, and I think they all want to get over the hump. And I think it's going to be enough. I think all 4 of these teams are going to the state championship, and I can't wait to watch it. And on that note,